create the employability. That's the objective. And why tourism department? Because nodal department is, of course, skill department of Goa. Now, as we are all of, as we aware of that, tourism and hospitality is the lifeline of Goan economy. 35% of employment generates from the tourism and hospitality sector. Having said that, what are the objectives of this policy? The Honorable CM vision is to create 5,000 jobs in government sector and another 5,000 from the private sector. Could it be industry, tourism and hospitality, manufacturing, and various private sector participation. So, since tourism department is the lifeline of the Goan economy, and that's why we are here. So, with this brief background, so I would expect that today we have called 100 rooms and above hoteliers. Now, in the next meeting, we are going to, lesser hotels and who could create the potential employment for the local Goan youth. That is the objective. 15 years. This basic criteria is 15 years is mandatory residence in the Goa. So that is the objective. So basically to create the employment opportunities for the local people. That is the objective. So my request would be, since you are the registering with the tourism department, since we are the nodal department for all the hotels and resorts. So my request would be, kindly take it as a good initiative, because it's certainly it is a noble initiative from the government of Goa, and let's move forward. And minimum expectation is, again, since 35% employment is generated from the tourism and hospitality, so out of 5,000 target, tourism and hospitality should at least create 35% of what is there in out of 5,000. So with this brief background, once again, I would welcome all of you, and thanks for attending. I would request skill development department to go ahead and what is the expected, what is the scheme framework, and if there is any doubts, you may ask in between. And thanks once again. Thank you.
So once again, I would like to welcome you all. So before we start, I'll give you a brief idea of apprenticeship. So I think most of the hotels, they are already engaging apprentices. So apprentices are engaged soon after they pass out. It's like a training program for them, along which they are paid some stipend. So as a Honorable CM usually refers to it, saying that it is earn while you learn program. So the governing rules that govern this particular scheme is the Apprenticeship Act of 1961. So this is implemented in Goa by Directorate of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So at the national level, it is implemented by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of Goa, and at state level, it is our department, that is Directorate of Skill Development. Yeah. So how the establishments are covered under this scheme? So if the establishment is having less than 4 employees, then you are not eligible for engaging any apprentices. If your strength is from 4 to 29, it is optional. So although it says optional, I would still like to request all of you all, even if you have strength of 4 to 29, please do engage apprentices because it will boost larger cause that we have. And if it is 30 and above, it is mandatory. Means you don't have any option. You have to engage apprentices. So how do we control the number of apprentices? So it is minimum is 2.5% and maximum is 15% of your sanctioned strength of your particular establishment. So here we would like to urge everyone to at least not go for the minimum possible, that is 2.5%, but try to at least target 10%. At least go for 10%. Yeah. So now how it works. So earlier there were times when it was done manually, but now it is completely digitalized. You have a portal by the name National Apprenticeship Portal by the URL apprenticeshipindia.gov.in. On this portal, both the parties register, means establishments will also register, the candidates will also register. So what would be the role of establishments? Establishments will first register, then they will create opportunities. So in opportunities, you will have to mention in which domain or sector you want the apprentices. What would be their, it is like a course for them. So basically, if you go on the site, it will say name of course. So you can take apprentices in various courses. So like in the hospitality sector, you will have even back office work, you will have trainee chefs, you will have housekeeping staff. So there are a lot of sections under which you can create these opportunities depending upon your requirements. It can be even in the accounts side because we have courses like accounts associate, so which can be used here. Then one more thing I would like to mention is on all your designated trades which are there, like food production. So there are ITIs mapped to those trades. Like in ITIs we run food production, food and beverages, then housekeeper. So this will be already there in your designated trade. So this will be direct mapping for you all. So once you create opportunities under this, there will be direct ITI pass out which will be applying for this particular opportunities. And this mapping will be direct because the ITI, all 10 ITIs are under Directorate of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So there the candidates will be 100% registered and they will be applying for these opportunities. Plus if you have some other opportunities for the people who are not from ITI, like as we said, accounts associate. So there might be some other data entry operators. So if you need something for the back office staff, so those can also be created. So now how the opportunities are viewed by the candidates. So once they log in, they will apply filters to find the particular opportunities. And then they will apply to those opportunities as per their qualification. Because each opportunity that is created with a qualification. The minimum required qualification for that particular course. So once they apply, the establishment will see who has applied for their opportunities. And from them you'll have to shortlist. Shortlist the candidate of your choice. You can contact him over phone, you can call him personally. That is up to you. So next part is contracts. So how do we shortlist? So if you select a particular candidate, the next action that you have is to create contract, generate contract. So it is as good as offering contract. So the moment you click on it, that contract will go to the candidate and he will be asked to accept or reject it. The moment he accepts the contract, that contract will come to us. That is the Directorate of Skill Development for approval. And once it is approved by us, it will be in force. It will be effective from whatever start date of the contract that is there. Yeah, next. Okay, so these are the stipends that are there. These are there on the site as well. So these are the minimum stipends. So I would once again like to urge all the hospitality sector establishments that if possible, you don't go for the minimum, you try to give it above, in addition to this minimum, above the minimum. Don't go for the bare minimum. If you can afford it, please try to give it above the minimum levels. Yeah, you can take photographs if you want of this slide.
We can share.
And we'll share the PPT also. Just keep it handy. You can take photographs. So now, what are the expectations from the public and private sector? So now, since today we are catering to the private sector, so the thing that is desired by our Honorable Chief Minister is he has a vision that we should have 10,000 apprenticeships contracts which will be issued on World Youth Skills Day. That is on 15th of July. So on that particular day, we'll be celebrating World Youth Skills Day by distributing 10,000 contracts. So in this 10,000 contracts, earlier apprentices were mainly catering to private sector. But now, with the help and assistance and vision of our Honorable Chief Minister, we have gone even into the government sector. So that's why we have shared this load of 10,000 as 5,000 for private and 5,000 for government. Government, all the machineries are already put into force. We are approaching towards the target. Private, we would like to request the hospitality sector because it is one of the leading sectors in Goan economy, as our respected Director of Tourism correctly pointed out. So, I think so, out of 5,000, we at least expect 2,000 to come from hospitality sector itself. And we are well aware that many establishments are already engaging the apprentices. So it may be as per 2.5%, that is the minimal. In some cases, as per requirement, is above that also. So we would like to urge you that try to reach to at least 10%. If you are already engaging, increase the engagement. If you are not engaged as of now, please engage. Next. So the main agenda will be towards the 15th July program that we have. So we are trying to meet that target before 15th July of 5,000 from private sector. So now this is from the establishment side. So the next question comes is, what are we doing on the candidate side? So also from the candidate side, the department, along with coordination with the other machineries that we have, we are trying to mobilize the candidates as well. Because tomorrow there might be a case wherein there are lots of opportunities created, but there are no candidates to apply to those positions. Because we are aware that there are candidates. We know the pass outs that are coming from hospitality sector courses from ITI, as well as there are higher secondaries giving vocational courses. So that's why what we are doing in North Goa, we had a program on 17th June. This was only for the students to mobilize them who had passed out. Similarly, we had one in South Goa. Plus, there's one scheduled tomorrow at Panchayat level, at Shiroda Panchayat. So now we have started targeting Panchayat as well. So whichever youth we can cater to from that particular area who have completed their courses, their studies, and are awaiting jobs. So it's like a stepping stone for them. It will be apprenticeship training, which will in turn enable them to get jobs in future. So even in hospitality, I would like to say that if you engage them as apprentices, and it's for a period of 1 year in most of the hospitality courses, and if you find that candidate to be fit enough, once the apprenticeship contract is done, you can absorb him in your company or in your establishment. You can recruit him as a regular employee. So for you also it becomes like a litmus paper test to see whether that candidate is good enough or not. You can judge him and evaluate him in 1 year, and then if you find him really good enough, you can absorb him into the system. So it is win-win situation for both. Yeah. So these are some snippets from our awareness programs that we are creating among youth. You can just go through it. Yeah, then one more initiative that we had taken was we have trained all the Swayambhu Mitras with respect to the candidate registration, so that they can go back. There are 230 Swayambhu Mitras under Swayambhu Goa 2.0 program. So these Swayambhu Mitras have gone back to their panchayats, 230 panchayats, and they have mobilized their youth at panchayat level. Next. Yeah, so this was the program that was held for Swayambhu Mitras. Next. Okay, so this is for the government department. We are creating teams so that we can deploy to those offices to help them, in this registration process, opportunity creation. So even in your case, if you have any difficulties while registering onto the portal or creating opportunities, you can always contact us. You can contact us for contact numbers given. You can contact us by visiting our head office, that is at Pato, Shram Shakti Bhavan, 3rd floor, Directorate of Skill Development. There are some snippets wherein we are visiting the government offices for assisting them. So this is, if you want, you can click a picture of this as well. First link that is shown is the apprenticeship portal, and then there are these trades. There are designated trades, optional trades. Most of the designated trades are mapped to ITI courses, and optional trades allow you to take beyond. Means optional trades were initially created as per the demands of the industry. If they feel that there's some course that needs to be added to it, that gets added with the adequate necessary approvals that are needed. So in optional cases, you will find many courses that cater to your establishment, which are specific. So that can be found in the optionals list. These are contact details. You can click a photograph of this as well. Yeah. So that brings us to the end of the PPT. But if you have any questions, we can take up those questions. Yes.
Is there any provision to extend the contractual apprenticeship? Suppose it's 1 year.
Yes.
If the candidate's performance is not found up to the mark, is there any provision to extend it?
With respect to that, no, it cannot be extended. It is fixed as per the contract, initial contract.
If he finds it not good after 2 months, then
What does the contract say?
No, if you feel that in between, if you feel is not good enough, the contract can be terminated. That is the only action that is possible from your end. You can terminate the contract. Same opportunity will be, you can advertise it again, take someone else. But if he is not performing that well, his contract cannot be extended.
yeah,
Thank you.
talk about termination.
Yeah. So in your case also it will be liability to keep a person like that for a longer period of time. You can terminate him. Anything else? Yes, so now you may not be having queries, but as you go onto the portal, as you try to register, there will be some of the other queries with respect to the registration part or opportunities part. For that, you can always contact to us. We are available on these phone numbers. Plus, you can visit our office. Thank you very much. Yeah, so